Okie dokie, everybody. We are finally back. I've done about maybe 3 or 4 hours worth of grabbing items and everything. Let me show you the difference there. This save file right here, it was right before I filmed the previous video. It was before the Precepts Guardian and Lady Yuna fights. This is now that I'm done grinding everything. You can see that it's with the 40 minutes there. It's just about 5 hours more than that. So if you count about an hour for those two fights, it's been about maybe 3.5 to 4 hours of leveling. Well, not leveling, of obtaining items. So what we're going to do is we're going to come right down here to wants. Now remember, you talked to him on the mountain on Mount Gagazet. If you did not talk with him on Mount Gagazet, he does not appear here, and he will not sell you his items. So you want to say, got any weapons? And you can see here, we've got all 4-slot weapons and all 4-slot armors. Now I was lucky enough in my getting of items, collecting items and everything like that, I did happen to get a malleable staff already, so I do not need to buy one of those. So what we're going to do is buy the Tetra ring, and then we will get that one all ready to go. And then of course I will do the same with the malleable staff. So now that we've got that, let's make sure we've got both of those equipped real quick. Malleable staff, there it is, and the Tetra ring. Okay, now here are the things that you need to customize. Let's start off with the armor, actually, just because those ones are more necessary than the ones on the weapons. So, the first thing that you need to get is zombie proof right here. Now, the zombie proof and the zombie strike that we will also be customizing, those come from Candles of Life. As you can see here, it takes Candles of Life to make those. And to do that, we want to capture one of every monster on the Mushroom Rock Road. Okay, so make sure you go do that. Once you've completed that, the Monster Arena guy will give you those Candles of Life times 99. Next thing that we need to put on here, Auto Haste. The Chocobo Wings come from capturing one of every monster in the Thunder Plains. That does include the Cactars. You have to catch at least one Cactar. And the best way to do that is to equip that Death Strike capture weapon that we made quite a while ago, and just hope that you get a lucky hit at some point. It will eventually happen, and that's okay. So, third thing, Auto Potion. To get Auto Potion, it does take some stamina tablets. You can see there, and to get those stamina tablets, you need to capture 4 of every type of floating eyeball enemy. Now, those floating eyeball enemies, they occur in a couple places. Let me pull it up here. There's one in the Mihen High Road, one on the Thunder Plains, one in the Macalania Snowfield, one in either Mount Gagazet or Inside Sin. And since we haven't got Inside Sin yet, just go to Mount Gagazet, go inside the cave near the top of the mountain. And the last one is in the Omega Ruins. So you do have to go find the Omega Ruins, and you can look through someone else's walkthrough to find how to find that on the using the airship. So that's where you get those from. Okay, the next thing that you need to get is, let's see, what did I miss here? Auto Potion, Zombie Proof, Stone Proof. This is the one I think I missed. Stone Proof, Zombie Proof, Auto Haste, and Auto Potion. Yes, so Stone Proof. To get the Stone Proof items, these Petrify Grenades, you need to catch one of every monster from Jose and the Moonflow area. So that area right before and right after the Jose Temple. Just make sure you go to both of them and make sure you get everything there. Okay, so that's going to do it for the armors. I'm going to go ahead and add those armors. Stone Proof, Zombie Proof, Auto Haste, and Auto Potion. There we go. Now, the other one that we're doing is going to be the Malleable Staff. For this one, again, we're going to be doing Zombie Strike, and I'll explain that when we finally get to the final boss to Braska's final Aeon. But to do that, again, it's going to be those Candles of Life that I told you how to get already. The next thing we need, let me look this up. Okay. The next thing we're going to use is Evade and Counter, and the 2 teleport spheres that we picked up in Beaconell Desert. As long as you have at least one of those, that's really easy to do, so we don't actually need to go farming for those. Now, if you did use all of those already, the only real way to get those at this point in the game is to play more Blitzball. And by this point, Blitzball is taken over by Wakka's overdrives and or a part of his celestial weapon. So that's going to be a little bit of a pain to do if you haven't saved at least one of these teleport spheres for this purpose. Third one is this magic counter. Now, shining gems, let me look up where that comes from. You need to catch one of every monster from Macalania Forest and the Snowfield. So if you take the airship to Macalania, you'll arrive at the travel agency there right before we did that fight with the Albed. And you want to go just run around a little bit in the Snowfield. I believe there's 4 monsters from there that you need to catch. And then you also want to go into the Macalania Forest and catch the rest of those. The last one is this 1 MP cost. As you remember, we did the 3 stars, we did the race, you should have plenty from that. If you did not, you need to capture one of every monster in 2 different areas. It can be any 2 different areas, but you do need to capture one of each monster in 2 different areas. That one you're going to get by doing all the rest of the ones that I've come up with at this point. So let's go ahead and build this. Zombie Strike. Evade and Counter. Magic Counter. And 1 MP cost. Okay, now let me just explain these counters that we're using here. The reason we're doing that is for Braska's final Aeon, if you don't have the zombie status on him, he will be healed by his little left and right pagoda, which you'll see in the actual fight. So the reason we have these Evade and Counter and Magic Counter is that's going to automatically reapply that Zombie Strike anytime that that he takes it off. So at least that's what the walkthrough that I'm following says, so I'm probably trusting it unnecessarily. So now I just want to make a note though, if you are going to try to do the Monster Arena, these are not the best weapons and armor to use, but if you're trying to do the Monster Arena, which I'm not going to do in this walkthrough, that's just going to be a whole nother ball of wax. At that point, go on to GameFAQs.com, go find the Yuna Only Challenge in the FFX folder, and go from there. So now, before I go on, I do want to make a quick mention. As you can see here, some of these characters' sphere grid levels have dropped, and I will show you the reason I did those. Right here, you can see I moved. Oops, excuse me. I moved Titus. This is his starting spot, and I moved him to here. The reason is because I wanted him to learn Flee. It does not affect battles in any way, shape, or form, other than when I was going for all of these items, it made it so that with his first strike, I could run away from items I didn't want to do very quickly and without any problem. The next one I did is I actually took Lulu. She starts way up here, and normally she goes down here through this circle and so on and so forth. But what I did with her is I actually took her up, and there was a key sphere here. I took her through that and into Riku's grid so that I could go learn the ability Bribe. Now the reason I did that is because I was getting very frustrated trying to get that Berserk Ward armor quite a few battles ago. It was driving me insane. So I did look up how to use Bribe to obtain that. And then as soon as I bribed it, coincidentally and kind of ironically, the very next thing that I killed that would have had that Berserk Ward on it had a Berserk Ward on it, so I actually didn't end up making that. So that was a waste. The other one was Riku. I actually ran her the opposite direction and accidentally, I was supposed to take her from her starting point over into Lulu's and then back into that same path that Lulu took. I actually accidentally went down here, and there's a level key sphere blocking the way here, and so I did not end up getting that with Riku like I was supposed to. And so that was a mistake on my part. But again, those are things that would not affect the game other than that it affects the amount of grinding that I would have had to do to continue showing you guys how to play through this game. So everyone else, Waka, this is his starting spot. You can see here this is the dark attack that he has at first level. Orin, this is his power break, that's the first level. He doesn't have guard, which is his second ability. Kimari, again, that's his starting spot right at the start, right above this level 4 sphere, and that's it. So, okay, next battle that we're going to be doing is we're going to take on Sin, and so I will catch you guys at that point now that we've got these weapons and armors ready.